Now in its 8th generation, the Volkswagen Golf is back with a vengeance. This time around, there are two very different but equally compelling models. We kick things off with this all-new GTI. Since its introduction in 1983, the GTI has defined the hot hatch phenomenon. Heading into 2022, it gets more of everything. It starts under the hood. The GTI's Turbo 4 now makes 241 horsepower, which is up 13, and 273 pound-feet of torque, which is again up 15. In a welcome twist, the GTI in Canada will be offered with both a 6-speed manual gearbox and a 7-speed DSG twin-clutch transmission. In both cases, the box drives the front wheels through a trick new, electronically controlled, torque-sensing limited-slip front differential. Incorporated into the differential is a multi-plate clutch that limits the amount of slip between the left and right front wheels. From a practical perspective, when hauling out of a corner, this simple addition means the GTI does not pick up the inside front wheel and spin off the engine's sweetness. It now digs in and pulls hard. An increase in the boost pressure accounts for the increase in horsepower and a drop in the run to 100 kilometers an hour. It now comes in at about 5.9 seconds when you team the engine with the DSG gearbox. The really good news, however, is through the mid-range, it just keeps building. The power supply really is much better than before. The rest of the handling lives up to billing. One of the keys is a retune base suspension and an available adaptive setup. The adaptive dampers chop the amount of body roll to basically nothing without giving up on ride comfort. In both cases, the spring rates are up 5% in the front and 15% in the rear. Throw in the new 19-inch wheels wearing sticky summer tyres and the GTI's innate ability to get around a corner, well, it remains firmly intact. What would the Golf be if it didn't have a halo car? This is the latest iteration of the GolfR, and it's ready to kick some serious butt. The GolfR follows the GTI's lead. Power rises to 315 horsepower, which is up 27, and it twists out 280 pound-feet of torque when teamed with a 6-speed manual gearbox. Take the optional dual-clutch DSG transmission and it bumps the twisting power to 295 pound-feet. That extra 15 pound-feet of torque and the closer mix of ratios found in the DSG make the R very quick. While Volkswagen says it takes 4.7 seconds to get to 100k, my stopwatch was indicating 4.3 seconds. And those quad tailpipes? Well, they sure sing a very mean song when you push the engine towards the red line. Both transmissions work with 4-motion all-wheel drive. Under normal driving situations, the system drives the front wheels and decouples the rear wheels to improve fuel economy. However, in milliseconds, it can transfer up to 50% of the drive to the rear wheels when a loss of traction is likely. It functions flawlessly whenever it's asked to put the power down through the beefy 235/35 R19 tyres. One of the really neat features with this new GolfR is a twin-clutch rear axle setup. Now, in a corner, it has the capability of using real-time torque vectoring to send more power to the outside rear wheel. That means you've got less steering input and much less understeer. But it also has a party trick. It's called drift mode. Now, if you see shades of the Audi RS3 in here, you're not alone. The GolfR arrives with adaptive dampers and springs that are 10% stiffer than the outgoing model. The manner in which the dampers work changes according to the drive mode selected. From comfort to sport and race, the choice covers the bases. The intriguing mode is special. It puts the engine and transmission in hyper, the torque vectoring in its sharpest mode, but it dials the suspension back to comfort. This allows it to deal with a rougher track or a Canadian road in a more stable manner. As it turned out, this was the mode of choice. Immediate responses without feeling torque. The Golf's cabin has been reworked to reflect its sportier work ethic. Both the GTI and R now have Volkswagen's 10.25-inch Cockpit Pro instrumentation. It is customizable and presents the information in a clean and clear manner. To the right, the GTI has an 8.25-inch infotainment screen in the lower models, but it gets the same 10-incher in the higher trims as the GolfR. In both cases, the setup is smarter, faster and easier to use. Of course, a car with serious handling chops needs supportive seats. Both new Golfs get superb deep dish buckets with built-in headrest and a splayed backrest that adds some needed shoulder support. Move rearward and two adults will be comfortable as long as the front seats are not fully rearward. So there you have it, the latest versions of the souped-up Golf. Now, for most people, the GTI will be more than enough car, and if you go with the 6-speed manual, it certainly has a very attractive starting point. However, if you want the boss status, you've got to go with this GolfR. That new torque-vectoring rear axle and the fire under the hood, well, it comes together very nicely. Either way, the owner is going to be a very happy camper.
When motoring launched in 1988, it was only found on TV. Not anymore. We have a robust website with the best auto journalists in the country. Our Facebook, where the only topic of conversation is cars, and where it's easy to win cool swag. YouTube, which boasts 30 years of archives at your fingertips, including complete episodes. Cool shirts, right? For the first time ever, we're selling them. Google Motoring TV Shop to get yours today.